Hey there again, folks. Welcome back to my Let's Play of Remember11, The Age of Identity. And things are continuing to be very tense. All around. And last time, Yunis was rather comforting to Kokoro, so she's going to break into tears somehow. We just get to choose exactly how, and I'm not sure exactly what it means, to be honest. Claimed home to suppress tears, choke back the tears. Don't know if this is that important, but claimed home to suppress the tears. Slow reach for Yunis' glasses.
ダメ。あれはダメ。なんでよ。僕の身にもなってよ。あれってすっごく苦しいんだから。私のためなら我慢できるんでしょ。それとこれとは別だよ。
Not any other alternative. I settled for grasping Yunis' small hand instead. There was something gripped in his cold hand. It was a charm. First time we've seen something like this, huh? Wonder where it came from.
いいでしょ。僕を守ってくれるんだよ。
Perhaps trying to cheer me up, Yunis forced a smile. It's doing a great job. Guess it kind of is doing a good job. I mean, protecting them doesn't necessarily mean that you don't wind up in a plane crash. You just wind up getting through it okay. However, his smile seemed cramped by the cold.
それじゃあ、二人で神様にお願いしよう。
We gripped the charm together, closed our eyes, and prayed. It was a prayer to God without any foundation, but the mere existence of this charm acted as support to us.
なんてお願いしたの？どうかみんな無事に帰れますように。ユニは？
Yunis hid his face. With hollow eyes, a fleeting smile crossed his face.
ココロンとずっと一緒にいますように。
I couldn't hold it back anymore.
わーってやめてよ。苦しいよ心。ハグギブ。
It was nothing more than an empty show of spirit. However, I acted as if I was in high spirits as always, so that Yunis might be even a little bit more energetic. Yunis had encouraged me with his sweet kindness. Releasing himself, Yunis looked a bit fed up as he took a deep breath. I softly embraced his shaking shoulders. Yunis seemed to have calmed down as he surrendered his body to me. We stayed with one another, rolled up in a blanket, gripping each other's hands. If somebody just tuned into that then, it could sound a little bit different. Slowly closed my eyes. Yunis' my body was faintly warm. I truly feel it. As long as this warmth is here, I won't be alone. I have comrades that can help me. As long as Yunis and Yomogi are here, I'll do my best to survive. And then they're not there because you're in Sia. You haven't learned not to think that, Kokoro? Frightens and is frightened. For some reason, my throat is really scratchy tonight. I didn't notice it until I actually started talking. Before I noticed, the trembling from the cold had transformed into a feeling of lethargy. I opened my eyes. I saw the white walls of Sphia. I was sitting on Satoru's bed. Sphia had functional heating, unlike the freezing cold shelter cabin. There's food here too that you shouldn't eat. However, I wasn't the least bit happy, because in Sphia the presence of a murderous monster was constantly approaching me. When I tried to stand up, the crowd. What is this? My vision distorted. On top of that, I couldn't put any strength into my body at all, as if all my bones had been removed. She drugged? I fell to my knees. Tried to get up, but my body my body wouldn't listen to me. None of the muscles in my body were responding. I couldn't move an arm or even lift a single finger. Just what is going on? I tried to mutter, but my mouth and tongue wouldn't move how I wanted them to. My voice wouldn't come forth either. But still, even my body unable to move, my mind was completely clear. What's happening? One more try, I tell myself. It's odd. No matter how you look at it, this is odd. Agreed. I'm not exactly sure what, but something definitely happened to Satoru's body, you think? On top of that, it was critically abnormal. Move, move. Move, 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 move. Please move already. I put everything I have into moving my limbs, focusing my concentration on my fingertips. Slowly yet impatiently, I did everything I could to put strength into them. How long did this go on? By the time I was able to lift it even slightly, my body was covered in sweat. I dragged my drowsy body to the edge of the bed and sat down. To speak comparatively, it was as if my whole body had been assaulted with lethargy. Lethargy assault. She passed out. Felt dizzy again. What's going on with my body? Or his body. The body of which I am currently in. Or she is apparently in. Panic struck me as I realized that this condition might be permanent. That's definitely not good. Shaking my head lightly, I staggered to stand up. I was somehow able to manage that much. However, my legs felt unreliable, as if they'd fell on me as soon as I let my guard down. It's probably the first time since birth that it's taken me this much effort to just stand up or move. Felt as if my body had degenerated terribly. I turned my arm slightly. I couldn't put that much strength into it, and my body continued to stagger, but I didn't feel any pain. There didn't seem to be any injuries besides my left arm that got cut the other day, as well as my right hand. And why? I pondered the cause of this situation. I wasn't injured. My head felt perfectly clear, and it didn't seem like I was sick either. Then what? Then I suddenly realized there was someone trying to kill Satoru. Pushing him off buildings, stabbing, drowning. They used many different methods to try to murder Satoru. Yeah. They tried dropping an anvil on him. If you haven't tried that, that should be next. Sometimes it works. And now the next method this person had attempted to use was... It can't be poisoning. In other words, what my body is experiencing right now is due to some sort of drug. I shuddered at the thought. My vision became distorted once again. I crouched down when it seemed like I was going to fall. Going as far as using poison to kill is just too much. The murderous monster was ready to kill Satoru by any means. I squeezed my eyes shut and strongly clutched at my shoulders. Unable to stand the fear, tears began to flow from my eyes. How many times will I have to go through this? I slowly opened my eyes and the dizziness began to recede. The feeling of lethargy attacking my body began to lessen as well. She really likes that word, lethargy. She's trying to use it at any point that she can, apparently. Lethargy, 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 lethargy. Maybe the symptoms appear and disappear in waves. I decided to leave a note for Satoru. I don't know what kind of drug he took, or was it injected? But I have to deal with it myself. In times of crisis like this, we have to keep in especially close communication with each other. I looked toward the notepad. Because Satoru's hands were under the influence of the drug, I could feel their grip had weakened. It wasn't my dominant hand, but I earnestly grabbed hold of the pen with my right hand and began writing a message for Satoru. It's Kokoro, what's up? It's me, Kokoro. Who else would you expect? There's something strange going on with your body. What happened? Someone make you take poison? Please tell me. Even just a little is fine, so tell me. Pause. A teardrop fell onto a notepad. The ink ran and blurred. Fear. Irrationality. Loneliness. Sorrow. All these emotions piled on top of each other were pressing down hard on my heart. Unable to bear the pain, the tears began to fall one after another. Without wiping them away, I continued to write. As if to say that this was my only remaining method of resistance, I single-mindedly continued to run my pen across the paper. I don't want to die. I don't want you to die either, Sadaru. What should I do? What should I do to help? I'm scared. I'm very, very scared. I have no idea why this is happening. I don't even know what will happen 5 minutes from now. I don't know who I can believe in either. Hey, Sadaru. I want to meet you. Even a single glance is fine, but I want to meet you. Because the one reflected in the mirror isn't you, it's me. I want to meet the you that's really you. Because there's no one I can believe in but you, Satoru. Kind of rhymes. There's no one I can believe in but you, Satoru. And I want you to tell me that everything's alright. I want you to tell me that there's nothing to worry about. Well, that's putting a lot on his plate there. Yeah, everything's alright, Kokoro. Yeah. Totally not dead and doomed and destroyed. Inevitably. Yeah. I'm sure help is right on the way on the cabin, and that the murderer will be like, you know, I just don't feel like killing right now, so I'm gonna let you live. Yeah, there's no victory for anything he can say, really. Because he could either lie or tell her the truth. Of course, I'm not saying it's hopeless. I'm just saying that everything isn't okay. The things I wrote in that message were my true feelings. Well, that is important, I suppose. It was almost like a confession of love, but I think it's different from that. I wanted to cling to someone. I wanted to cling to someone for them to say to me, don't worry, you can relax now. I wanted someone to hold me tight and say those words. I think I wanted to escape from this unstable situation by clinging to someone. I think my mind's already reached its limit. Sound came from the direction of the door. I quickly raised my head. Saw Yunis peeking in through the slightly open door. Realizing he'd been spotted, Yunis' face filled with anxiety. As though to escape, he made to run away. I forcefully stood up. I staggered, and there's still some slight dizziness. My body wouldn't move the way I wanted it to, as if it were made out of jelly. But even so, I pushed my arms and legs to move and chased after him. Yunis rushed into his own room. I followed after him. Entering the room, I saw Yunis' frightened eyes staring back at me. As I neared him, Yunis pulled himself back as if trying to get away. Yunis shook his head almost hard enough to make a sound. That's kind of loud, wasn't it? Well, it wasn't loud, but it was audible, wasn't it? I burped. He retreated even further, his face distorted in fear. I've got the feeling that, I can't remember if I mentioned this, I've got the feeling that Satoru was the one who killed that guy. Now, I'm not saying that Satoru did it malevolently, but if he did kill that guy out of self-defense, but Yunis saw that, that could have quite the effect on him. On Yunis, I should say. So, yeah. It could be a big reason why Yunis is quite scared of Kokoro, aka Satoru, aka Kokoro. As he was walking backward, Yunis' foot bumped against the table. With that, he tumbled to the floor. By chance, Yunis' forehead struck the edge of the bed. Okay. Panicking, I rushed over to him and helped him sit up. Yuni pressed his hands against his forehead.
痛いよ。大丈夫？見せてごらん。
Pushing back his hair, I saw that Yuni's forehead had a new injury. Probably due to the shock of the collision, Yuni's bandage had peeled off and dropped to the floor. This was probably the one that applied to the cut Hattori had given him the other day. Thought that it had bled quite a lot at the time, but the cut itself was actually shallow. Tears were forming in Yuni's large eye. There was a... Haven't they mentioned that he's got a cut on his forehead at the shelter cabin? Seems like it. I may be remembering wrong. I may very, very well be remembering wrong, but if somehow the Wendy got... Somehow... Oh no, the Uni at Sophia does not seem to completely line up with the one at the cabin. And one thing I've been thinking is, what if it's actually the opposite of what you would think? That the Uni here is actually slightly about a year younger than the one at the shelter cabin. That somehow this is right after the plane crash Uni, and that the plane crash Uni is actually the one who's recovered from it somehow. I don't know. There's something still very strange about him, that's for sure.
男の子でしょ？泣いちゃダメだよ。もう仕方ないな。
I gave Uni's forehead a small
痛い
kiss.
の痛いの。アンドロメダの彼方まで飛んでいけ。
Saw Uni's eyes widen in surprise.
私のお母さんがやってくれたんだよ。痛いのなんて一発で忘れちゃう不思議なおまじない。
Embracing Uni's thin body closely, I buried my face in
大
his
丈夫
hair.
だよ。何も心配することなんてないんだよ。
This will be a very awkward moment for the switch to happen. Satoru, I don't know. He might not be the best with kids. That's just something I was just thinking he might be like. Young human, how are you today? That'd be the epitome of awkward. I don't know, actually Satoru just seems awkward in general. I'm saying that's a bad thing. It's his way, but that would be... I don't think he wouldn't be the one to be like, hey Uni, I'm going to give you a hug. However, I was stressed away by Uni. He had done it much more forcefully than I expected.
やめてよ。僕に触らないで。
Well, apparently we don't have to worry about that. Uni shouted, then turned and ran away. There had been pure terror on his face. I was left alone in the room. Even though the room wasn't very wide, it felt extraordinarily vast to me.
逃げたの？
Was it because he felt grossed out that his forehead being kissed while I looked like Satoru? Or was it...
何も心配することなんてないんだよ。
These were the words I was wishing for. The words I wanted to hear said to me. There's no one to say those words to me, so I'll use them myself on Uni. Under the guise of worrying about Uni, I may have only been thinking of myself. Maybe being sensitive, Uni was able to see through my heart. No, I don't know anything. The only thing I did know was that the remaining warmth left by Uni felt extremely lonely. And so I decided to run after Uni. Because losing Uni would be unbearably sorrowful for me. So quit chasing him away. He's obviously petrified obvious. So, yeah. Yuni went in the direction of Hattori's room. I began to chase after Yuni. Again! Quit chasing him! It's scaring the crap out of him. Looks like we're back in the shelter cabin. Self-defense and false accusation. That's what the title said up there. Sounds like things are gonna stay dramaful here. Yeah. Gonna find out what that means next time, I think. Probably, Mayuzumi's probably gonna be involved. Well, actually, she is the drama there at the shelter cabin. Maybe Yuni a little bit, but she's the drama queen. So we're gonna find out next time what's going on here at the cabin. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Farewell there, folks.